if I make my cut right, I want to make a 70-degree pie cut coming down like this, and then a cut across like this. That might pop out. We might be able to save that piece of wood. And Kevin lied to me. He said 12 inches. This is a 14-inch bar. I think we're a little bit bigger than that. I would have brought my bigger chainsaw if I had known that. But anyway, we'll make this cut first. It's going to be a little bit loud. And, oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention. If you do have a second chainsaw, make sure you bring it, because if you get that stuck in the tree, how do you get it out? You need another chainsaw to relieve that cut. So let me get this turned on, put it up, and we're going to make that first 70-degree cut from the top here. Before I fire up, see this line right here on my chainsaw? Most chainsaws, or all chainsaws, either have this or another guide. What you do is you take this and aim it the direction you want the tree to fall. So if I want to make the tree fall that way is where I want to go, I keep this lined up like that when I make this cut. It's a very handy guide. So we'll get this started here and make our first cut. Okay, you see I've cut down to here. I'm about a quarter of the way through the tree, and I got a straight line across to here on this side where the cut is. So now my job is to get a straight cut coming across this way and pop this wedge out. So you have to be careful in positioning your chainsaw when you do it. Make sure you're lined up and take your time. Okay, we saved it. It's gonna be pretty interesting. We're a little thick here, we can't quite see the burl. I do see a little bit of rot here, so we gotta be really careful with this tree and take our cuts slow and make sure we keep everybody out of the way. That means Brian. Okay, we're on the last cut, and it's the most important because the tree's gonna fall that way, right? Well, first thing I need to think of is, where am I gonna go? You don't wanna go behind it, because if the tree kicks out, you could be in big trouble. I'm gonna take this chainsaw and go over here to get safely out of the way. There is a fence here, but it's far enough back, it's not gonna affect me getting away from that, hopefully. The tree, though, if you look up at the top, has big branch on this side. So we're gonna really have to work hard to get that to go the direction we want it to go. So ideally, what I'm gonna do, I won't be stopping when I do this, I'll tell you now. I'm gonna make a cut in here. Once the chainsaw gets in here far enough, I'm gonna grab a wedge, drive that wedge in there to make sure it's pushing the tree that way. As I go in deeper, I'm gonna do another wedge. Ideally, we'd have a rope attached to the top of this thing and somebody pulling on that end. Kevin mentioned he has a tractor, but it'd probably take a little too long to get it hooked up. Famous last words. If it does go this way, I'm gonna have to help Kevin do some fence work. But anyway, this is gonna be a cut that's gonna come in just about an inch or so above that bottom of that wedge I made, and I'm not gonna cut it all the way through. I need to leave a thick enough piece of wood going across that way for a hinge. That's really important. You cut all the way through, this thing just drops down and goes anywhere it wants. The hinge is gonna make it go the direction we want, hopefully.